we go. We found the Vauxhall people. So he's just moving the car round to where they're parked, which is handy. Super busy, but apparently it's only half as busy as what it was before coronavirus. So, aye, keep going. Aye, so after we got parked up in the original spot, we found the Vauxhall people, and we're now parked beside a nice Astra Merit, a Cavalier, another Astra Merit, and aye, that is Astra Merit 1990.
Hi.
On Instagram, standing behind me, and it's her really tidy 5-door Mark II Astra Merit sitting beside the GTE right now. So I'm gonna have a bit of a look at that, see if I can like
Inspect it, see what you think.
inspect it and see if I can sell you some parts for it or something for all the crap that I've got lying about.
We'll see. It won't be hard to convince me.
Oh wait there now, the cameras are angry, ruined, hold on. So this is a really tidy Mark II Astra Merit. It's been modified though. I think I'm in with a reasonable chance of being able to flogger some of the bits I've got lying about. Oh, thank you very much. Just been handed the keys here. Oh, that's a nice properly operating door lock. It's never been rammed with a screwdriver. Oh, look at this. It's got a Nova GSI steering wheel, I think, in it. But look at the Merity goodness. Look. It's got no clock. You don't get to know what the time is in a Merit. You have to pay extra for that. But it is. Oh, it's so tidy. Look at the seats in it. This thing's class.
That lets it down is the headlining is falling off.
Oh.
It's came off.
That's a pain. That I never. If anybody knows who does good replacement headlinings, please let me know, because I need one myself, and I've never encountered anybody who can actually do it.
Well,
and
I have booked in.
You're getting a headlining done?
Interior mods, I think they're called.
I'll have to check them out. Well look, as well, 4-speed gearbox. Now, you would normally be thinking that a 5-speed would be an advantage or something that you would want, but the thing with these is the spacing of the ratios. These old Astras with a carburetor engine in them can actually be pretty quick for what they are. The really unlikely base spec flying machines. We'll go and find out what engine it is. I think it'll be a 1.4, but you'd be surprised at how quick this little car actually would be. Yeah, look, this is, so many door locks get burst or they get like worn over time. Well, that's so shuts just so nicely. This car is in such good condition. Oh, there you go, look how mint this is. What mileage has this done?
91.
It's had an easy life, isn't it? Those 1400 engines, they're flying machines for what they were. I don't know why, like, but some of them were like, the manufacturing tolerances in them and that, I think some of them were like 10 horsepower more than other ones. Your one, if you didn't think it's quick, it's probably because it's had an easy life. If you keep thrashing it for a good 10,000 miles, it'll start to open up. Because you used to get these, you used to get them, because you had the Astra Max vans and the Astra vans, and the diesel ones were pretty slow, but if you got a petrol one, they were rockets. Like, they would do like 120 mile an hour.
I think she's had a fairly easy life.
Oh aye, nobody could explain why.
There was an elderly man that had it, and he never used it. He took it out once or twice for shows, and that was really about it, and then it was kept in a garage for the rest.
So we're just looking round and marvelling at how fast 4-speed Astra Merits are, with 1.3 and 1.4 engines are in them. And I was speaking to Nathan from Ardrossan, who watches my videos at 2 o'clock in the morning, keeping his missus awake, listening to my lovely voice.
Oh, nice.
Sounds so weird, that, you know. And this is his Cavalier, and obviously we highly approve of Cavaliers. This is 2 litre 8 valve. But what model is it? What model is this? Because it's an LS. Was it a 2 litre 8 valve to begin with?
Yep.
C20 I see a little bit. See for company cars, that was the thing you wanted back in the day. See if you got if you're one of the guys that got a 1.8 Cavalier, it's like 90 horsepower, drum brakes on the back, single point injection. But if you were one of the guys that managed to get the 2 litre, you've got 115 horsepower, or probably more, because like them, some of them probably had 10 horsepower more at the factory. And these things were like rapid back in the day. Oh aye, this was like the ultimate reps car, the 2 litre Cavalier. And the LS got you everything you needed, you weren't. I mean, even once the facelift came in, you weren't benefiting in getting an 8 valve SRI apart from the close ratio gearbox. But there's such a huge jump with the 2 litre engine, because you get disc brakes all round, multi-point injection, 25 horsepower more than the next car downfit. And they were just these ones were the best out of the lot. So if you can find a 2 litre 8 valve Cavalier of any description, it's so much easier to build a performance project than it is if you've got an 1800. This thing's pretty tidy overall. So it's absolutely scorchio here, and I'm stood beside, well, if I had a look at the Astra Merit just there and the 2 litre 8 valve Cavalier, and I'm with Sam, who's better known on Instagram as Old Motors and Old Ricky, and he's got Astra Merit L-Reg Mark III 3-door, which is in outstanding condition. I'll look around at the now, and you know, you've got to have a lot of respect. You know, it takes a lot of determination and dedication to keep a car like that completely standard when you could drive it into the garage and fire an XE in it and back out and it's like a 150 horsepower GSI replica. But how many Merits are going to survive, you know? Because these were folks' mums' cars and second cars back in the day, and this thing's just pretty much exactly as it left the factory. There's even got some sticky Garfields in it. Look at a swatch. Aye, so how did you come to own this?
It belonged to my dad's neighbour. He bought it as a used car in 1997. Just barely used it, cherished it, kept it garage, polished it within an inch of its life, just took real good care of it. And then he had bad health, so he had to give up driving it. And then I just chapped on his door and asked to buy it, and he was more than happy to sell me.
Ideal. What miles is on it?
Just about to go into 42,000 now. It was 34 when I bought it 2 years ago.
Oh, so barely nothing at all. See, to most people, that's just like the perfect thing to resell some god-awful rotten GSI into.
Especially being a 3-door, eh?
Especially being a 3-door, and being that tidy, it doesn't look like there's a mark on it. So, what's your history with like Vauxhalls and things? Your Instagram account is Old Motors and Old Ricky, so you just go out looking for old cars to photograph?
Pretty much, aye. If I see an old motor, I'll just try and get a couple of photos of it. I just anything I see, I just post it. Just mostly out of boredom, really.
How you getting on with this little Astra anyway? What's have you had kind of 80s, 90s Vauxhalls before?
No, this is this is the second Astra. I had a Mark IV briefly, but that was just a Gumtree buy. But no, I wasn't really out to buy a Mark III Astra, but when I saw it in the old boys' driveway, I was like, that's clean, I've got to have it. So,
hard to resist.
And it's been well cared for, and that he's just kept it so nice, and the fact he's done that, he's cherished that base model Astra so well when they were worth absolutely nothing.
That's
so,
it.
It's a wee bit special.
Base model brilliance. There's a lot of people that have got a real thing for base models as well.
Less to go wrong.
If you want to identify a Mark III Astra 1.4, if it says Astra 1.4i on a pre-facelift, then it's a multi-point. That's how you know. And you could only get a Merit multi-point if you had the automatic transmission. So there's some really useless information for you. But if you see on this one where it says just Astra, that's a high torque, which is single point injection. So there you go. I'm currently hiding in the old motor, some old Reiki Astra Merit, because a couple of rather enthusiastic and perhaps eccentric characters have noticed Kenzo in the Astra GTE 16 valve, and they think that he is me, and they are very enthusiastically engaging with him about all things related to Once Driven Forever Smitten. So I happen to think it's rather funny that I'm just going to hide in here and let him endure it instead. Which is beside the point, because I'm sitting in this beautiful Astra Merit, which is absolute base model brilliance, you know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the interior of this car. Now the thing with the Astra Merit, well, the thing with the Mark III Astra back in the day was, the journalists would often slag it off for having like dull handling and everything. It wasn't like it wasn't a car that you could get passionate about. But this was a car which was driven by people's mums and granddads and all that sort of stuff. And in actual fact, it was really well laid out ergonomically, and it was solidly built as well. Look at this dashboard. Look at how well designed this is. How good it is. Vauxhall did a really good job on this. Just because they couldn't be bothered doing the suspension or making an engine with a high torque that would pull you out of bed, you shouldn't completely hold that against them. Also, this airbag steering wheel. Well, this, I mean, to be fair, that's perfectly acceptable for a base model. The fact that they were fitting exactly the same steering wheel with a little bit of leather on it to a Cavalier turbo was a bit of a stretch. But you've got to say, overall, the Mark III Astra was a well-built car. Yes, this thing's class. Overall, like, this is such a nice car. You've got to pay tribute to anybody who is willing to leave a Merit as a Merit, because the easiest thing in the world to do is to go and fire some massive engine in it and make it go really fast. But you lose that originality. You lose the historical context of this, when somebody's mum used to pick you up from school and drive you to football practice or what. Things like that, and the Astra Merit back in 1993, and then you would go home and play Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in the Mega Drive. You lose all that when you start modifying cars. This is pretty cool. I wonder if they've gone yet. I think they maybe have. Right, I'm going to go back over there. Nothing has ever impressed girls more in the history of the world than ramming your Fiesta off the rev limiter. He just revved his Fiesta off the rev limiter several times. How impressed were you by that?
To the point I can't even explain. It blew me away. Not really.
Right, well, that's been brilliant. We've had a completely random but awesome time today out at Irvine. It well is. The car's tidy as fuck.
I know.
They just send you. I mean, you already know that anyway. Aye. Enjoy your Astra and hope you have a good weekend next weekend at the Festival of the Unexceptional.
I'll be taking my Astra.
Perfect, man. Right, cool. Take care. Cheers. Bye bye. Bye bye. Hello. What, can you tell me what time it is? No, you can't, because you've got an Astra Merit and you don't have a clock. Cheers, man. Bye bye. Right, so I've had a wee walk further up. I don't even know what exactly you would call this, but there's this massive bridge. Look at this behind me. There's a bridge with an enormous gap in it. Look at that. Is that not like the Smokey and the Bandit bridge? Do we not need to be jumping a black Trans Am over that or what? Because that's amazing. But in the meantime, we've also found some Vauxhall Cavaliers, which is pretty much core content for Once Driven Forever Smitten. So let's go and look at them and find out what's going on there. So I just discovered the Cavalier SRI. This has got a 4-brancher on it, cone filter, and it's also got some Astra GTE seats in it, which is pretty cool. Original steering, no, not original steering wheels, it's got a leather steering wheel, which an SRI didn't have, so that's been changed. And also it's got these tremendous KN Ditech wheels on it. I think they're KN Ditechs, but they look so well on an SRI. Somebody's chored the side repeater, that's well out of order. But honestly, these pre-facelift 20 SEH SRIs were the best bloody ones out of the lot. Class. And it's a saloon as well. I know it's really got nothing to do with Vauxhalls, I just like it a lot. Dodge Challenger RT. This is badass. Golf, I've got one of them on Forza, one of those Hyundais. They're pretty good. Oh, there's an Astra. There's an Astra convertible. There's a very muddy Land Rover. What else have we got? There's one of those bright green Corsa VXRs. Look, the place is absolutely mad. Look at all of that. This is amazing. It looks like quite a few cars have moved on, but we have spotted an Opel Manta. So let's go and have a look at that. The sun goes down, there's cars flying about everywhere. Woohoo! This is like going back in time like 20 years. Or at the very least 2 years before bloody COVID. So we're looking at an exceptional Opel Manta Coupe Berlinetta with the original engine in it. Look, there's no red top in it, look. No, wait a minute. Ah, there we go. Original 1800 overhead cam engine with twin 45 carburetors on it. So that's proper old school, that, because well, a lot of these 1800 Mantas, you can fit a red top XE engine to the gearbox in these, whereas you can't do it to the cam and head 2-litre GTE, which means that these are actually rarer than the higher spec, than the models that were higher spec to begin with. So there you go, A-Reg 1983, set of banded wheels on it. Oh, we've got the Mark I Astra style GTE seats. Oh, look at that. Ah, how good is that? We're coming to the end of the day. So I'm just walking back down to Kenzo now. He says it's about time that he's going to go and leave. And I was like, you better not leave without me. There's a lot of Fords that seem to have exhaust systems on them. They make the vehicle sound like they do not work properly, which I don't understand. There's a wee Corsa V with all the come-ons in it. Remember the come-ons? Nice looking wee motor that. Got the old style 3-spoke steering wheel in it. Oh look, wait till you see what I found. Look, look, look. An Omega. And not only that, it's a Silverian. Yes! Class! Nice! There's a nice Corsa V. Cesaro wheels on it as well. Tidy looking wee hang. Class! There's Kenzo sitting there bored because he wouldn't come with me in the first place. It's his own fucking fault. Right, let's go and get an enormous pile of food. Mint it! We've just pulled out the big Irvine cruise, and 1.5 miles away is a Tesco's filling station, so we can get the GTE tanked up with some lovely 99 octane. And seeing as neither of us have eaten anything since that ice cream in Dunn's a very, very long time ago, there's a Burger King drive-through just over there as well. Get in. Burger King. And we have achieved great success, I hope. Got some sort of special edition cheesy bacon burgers, plus extra cheeseburgers, plus halloumi fries, They didn't have any actual potato fries because they've run out because they've been so busy. Look at how practical the Mark II Astra dashboard is for being able to position all your food. I'm going to start a sub-channel where we test various brands of fast food. Like once driven, forever eaten, or something. I don't know. Right, so that's us on the M8 on the way back from Irvine. We've got some Tesco 99 in the tank and we're full of Burger King. And the GTE, since we put the spark plugs in it, has really picked up and it's pulling like an absolute train. It's getting dark here and we overtook that smart looking recovery truck. And he's just had a run up downhill coming down past Harthill Services and past us again. I think he was quite excited because he saw the old Astra and here's somebody tanking it in a Merc a bit as well. That's a quick bloody recovery truck, he wasn't hanging about. Yeah. Where is it? Where is it? I'm expecting a distance. He must be doing about a ton. It's not even... We could be in 4th gear right now rather than 5th. It's not even come on cam yet, which is testament as to like the broad spread of torque that it's got, because it's available right across the rev band. Whee! Don't be telling people how fast you're going. It's like proper Blair Witch Project shaky vision footage this anyway. It's not dark in there. It certainly doesn't hang about. As time is going on here, there seems to be a general unavailability of toilets, and I really need a wee. Well, I got a good spot, and I got away with it. But the problem was the wind kind of got up, and what are the potential effects of jagged nettles on the bell end?